It's time for 마음톡톡. 오정아의 마음톡톡.
Mind Talk with resident therapist Miss 오정아 with us here in the building. 원장님 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요. This is
hi.
오정아 from Chicago Therapeutic Center, Chicago 심신치유 Center. I'm glad to be here today.
환영합니다.
환영합니다. We're glad you're with us
감사합니다.
as well.
I love you
right?
said she's in the building.
Yeah.
She's not right here in the studio.
Do I lie?
No, I mean, that's true.
She is in the building.
Yeah.
That's in. Wait, no. She's in the studio. That's in the building,
Yes,
right?
it's true. It's true. They're just strange.
네, 원장님, thank you so much for joining us once again. 원장님, 들어오는 순간부터 I feel like me and Laura were readying our hearts and our minds to be soothed a little
Yeah.
bit. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need therapy.
I'm so
Or
glad
like
to
I'm
hear
kind of afraid that, aspects of myself that I don't want to be seen, I don't want to be put in light in
Yeah.
public kind of gets brought up.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Because 원장님, we talked yesterday. We talked about therapy in general with during your me time, how it's very important these days, right? A lot of people are getting therapy. 근데 저는 사실 이런 상담 치료나 이런 거 제대로 받아본 적 한 번도 없거든요. Yeah.
네네.
But that's why we had this segment that's very important. So a little bit 저도 뭐 상담 치료 받으면서 I think it's good for our listeners to know how therapy, just talking it out is very
Yeah.
important.
Therapy is very important.
네. So excuse me.
Okay.
I swallowed wrong. 원장님, let's get to today. What do you have for us?
So when it comes to summer, people are interested in losing weight, including me. I like to focus on dieting. But before we get into today's story, I want to go over a couple of terms first. The primary definition of diet means food and drink regularly consumed or daily nourishment. For example, a person's diet consists of protein, vegetables, fruits, dairy, and grains. The second definition of diet, going a diet or dieting, means eating and drinking less in order to lose one's weight.
And it's important to make those distinctions. And I think something that is always interesting to me is that humans are really the only species that go on a diet.
Yeah.
Every other species has a diet, and we also have a diet, but we go on a diet.
Yeah.
And I think that tells us a lot about,
Because humans are the only living things that have an idea of what I guess what we're supposed to
aesthetics.
look like. Yeah, aesthetics.
Really?
What we should look like.
I
guess
don't know.
because of what society says.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, so we're going to focus on, as 원장님 said, diet. I feel like body image can kind of play into
Yeah.
today's theme too. So as always, what are we going to start out with, 원장님?
Yeah, so let's listen to today's story first.
I'm a huge K-pop idol fan and I admire girl group members' slim figures and I want to look like them. I began following an extreme diet that promised rapid weight loss. As time went on, I noticed severe fatigue, dizziness, and a decline in my overall health. My friends and family expressed concerns about my health and well-being, but I'd like to continue to pursue my goal of becoming skinny. Is this a problem?
Oh, I feel like this is such a
common
thing, especially here in Korea. 맞아요. Trying to look like an idol is huge, especially amongst the younger generation.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true. Let's refer to this writer as Sarah. It sounds like Sarah's desire to look like an idol singer had led her to an extreme diet. Even though she knows the negative impact on her health, it's hard for her to stop dieting. So if I remember it correctly, Laura, you mentioned previously you had negative body image when you were younger. So do you mind sharing your story with us?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, I just want to say that our 원장님 asked me before we went on air, is it okay if I ask you about your personal story? And And my answer is always yes, because I think it's so important that these kind of topics are not hidden away, and a lot of people are not comfortable talking about it. But I think, I feel very privileged to have a platform, aka they've let me in front of a microphone. Oh, more fool them. But I think it's important for me personally to be able to talk about these kind of mental health issues. And so when I was younger, I had, everybody has issues in their past, in their childhood, but then I had a very abusive boyfriend.
Oh.
And so because of that and because of some of the issues in our relationship, he was very cruel to me about my weight. And so I started to develop this body dysmorphia, basically, which then led to an eating disorder. And for the longest time, I was punishing my body through food and exercise. See, now I love my body with food and exercise. I do things for my health, for my well-being, for my mental health, physical health, whatever. But for a very long time, I would punish my body through food and through exercise, extreme exercise, etc.
Okay.
And I used to be really young and really skinny and a dancer and a gymnast. And this relationship was, this was the turning point of me thinking that I wasn't good enough, that, that beauty was only to be found in a certain aesthetic. So, really, really difficult. Terrible time.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Must have been
Thank
tough.
you for sharing.
Yeah,
sure.
So,
Yeah.
Minsu, have you experienced any struggles with your self-body image?
I mean, I'll be honest, nothing like what Laura went through, but up to like college, I didn't really care. I guess I didn't put too much importance on that. I didn't really care how people saw me or, how I saw people in that regard. But it's coming here to Korea that I realized that I focus a little bit more, right? And you could tell, right? No. Korea has a notion that, you should be skinny. You should be, specifically for guys, you should be tall too, right? So, and height is something obviously I can't physically change, but I was taking advice from people, on what styles and what fits to wear to make it seem like I'm taller than I really am. So that's some of the stuff I was considering for the first time in my life. Right? So, it's something that I picked up here in Korea. I mean, I do it less these days, as you can tell, right?
You're so handsome. Stop putting yourself down. Stop it.
그런데, it's something that, me too. Honestly, it has crossed my mind a couple times.
Yeah.
네. 원장님, what about you? You mind sharing?
Right, sure. For me, I was really skinny throughout my teens and 20s. I didn't look healthy, so people made negative comments on my body. And so no matter how much I ate, I couldn't gain weight back then. So when I reached my 30s, I lived in the US, and the type of food I ate changed. So I gained more weight, and which made me look much healthier now.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting? And this isn't just in Korea, because I also had an experience when I was pregnant with my first son. I was very sick through that pregnancy, and I couldn't physically keep things down. And this is after coming out of an eating disorder, but I wanted to eat more, but my body physically couldn't eat so much. So it was like this strange kind of reaction my body was having. Anyway, and I was very, very thin still during my pregnancy. Healthy baby, by the way. But I was just and same for this pregnancy, this previous one, right? I was still exercising, but I was very slim. And I got called names in fun because I was thin and pregnant. And people grabbing my wrist, how are you so skinny?
Yeah.
And I'm just you have no idea what damage you're doing to me by those comments. So I think it's surprising to me how people think it's okay to comment on other people's weight, appearance, because you never know what kind of damage is being done.
Right.
And you never know that person's situation, you know?
Right, that's
Cheeky.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So, yeah, that's true. So, have you heard of 프로아나?
Yes.
Proana.
So
프로아나.
한국말로는 프로아나라고 표현을 하는데요.
네.
The term 프로아나 is a combination of pro, meaning is in favor or supportive of, and
네.
anorexia referring to anorexia nervosa, the 신경성 식욕 부진증, 아니면 이제 거식증이라고도 얘기를 하죠. It signifies the phenomenon of the advocating for or supporting the pursuit of anorexia and refusing treatment for eating disorders. It's a common term for Generation MZ now.
It's really 심각해요. It's really bad.
That's really bad.
There's internet forums saying, like, giving tips and tricks for young women and young men to reduce their calories and offering up, like, suggestions for powdered soups. So
Yeah.
have this powdered soup. It's only 4 calories.
Yeah.
Just drink 2 of these a day and you'll be fine. Like, it's very dangerous.
Right.
And even taking that term anorexia, which is I don't know. I don't know what the what the waters are like these days, but back then, like for me and for you, I'm sure Laura, like anorexia was this thing that was very serious.
Serious, yes.
Yeah, it could lead to very like damaging effects on the body,
You
even
could
death
die.
sometimes.
Right.
Yeah, from it. But to be pro anorexia,
Yeah.
I would never imagine this thing being such like a thing.
Yeah, oh, it's really bad. And that thinspiration, that hashtag thinspiration, that's part of the Pro-Ana movement. Yeah.
So the Korean Journal of Public Health Association conducted a body image survey among 30,000 female teenagers in 2022, and it was found that 41.4% of them perceived themselves as overweight compared to their actual body size.
Yeah, that's very sad.
Yeah.
Young women get especially young women, get a lot of pressure from media and society to look a certain way.
Right. As we can see from the survey result, many female teenagers may perceive themselves as overweight or unattractive even when they are at a healthy weight. This distorted body image can lead to negative self-esteem and dissatisfaction and preoccupation with appearance.
Yeah. Wojam, have you personally had, dealt with clients that were dealing with this?
Yes, I have one of clients that I remember. She was a high school student. Her case was similar to Sarah's story. She's 167 centimeters tall and used to weigh 70 kilograms. When I met her, she weighed 55 kilograms, but wanted to be 45. So it seemed to me she was already at a healthy weight. However, she was trying hard to lose more weight. So it was a difficult case because she wanted to do extreme dieting regardless of her health and didn't want to change her diet. So I applied art therapy and hypnosis to her. And then through the process, she revealed her experiences of bullying by her friends and other people due to her weight when she was in elementary school. So after addressing her unresolved emotional issues related to her body image, she was able to eat more than before and exercise regularly.
Yeah.
I mean, goodness, she recovered like that,
Yeah.
right? But to have that notion and 167 centimeters tall, that's pretty tall. I want to say on the tall side, right?
right.
But then to be 45, 'cause
45 kilos, that's way too little.
unhealthy.
But it gets to a point, and just speaking from my own personal experience, so what I was going through was bulimia and anorexia type 2, like there was a subtype.
right.
And so I was very thin, but I was also bulimic. So I would blah, blah, anyway, not to go into the full details, but it got to a point where I was scared to eat certain foods for things like rice. It would give me huge anxiety
Yeah.
if somebody offered me rice or pasta or like, let's have a can of beer. And it was like,
맞아요.
like panic,
Yeah.
like real panic. So it's such a complex mental health disorder, and it's not like she wants to be 45 kilos because she thinks that'll be the end of her problems.
Yeah.
It's just like, I need to be this weight, and it's not something you can control really. It takes a control of you. It
맞아요.
controls you.
So it's pretty serious. Anybody
Yeah.
out there that, might know somebody that's going through something like this, or maybe you yourself, right? So, 원장님, I guess, what are some what are some things to keep in mind, or maybe like, because I know you always take us through these questions that we always ask ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm. So here are some questions for Sarah to help her to better understand her emotions and deeper level and the challenges of self-body image. One, what are the reasons behind my desire to have a skinny body? 내가 마른 몸매를 가지려고 하는 숨겨진 이유들은 무엇인가? Two, have I considered the long-term result of pursuing extreme dieting physically, mentally, and psychologically? 극단적인 다이어트를 추구함으로써 장기적으로 나의 신체적, 정신적, 심리적으로 어떤 결과를 가져올지 고려해 본 적이 있는가? Three, do I define a beautiful body? How do I define the beautiful body? 나는 아름다운 몸매를 어떻게 정의를 하고 있는가? Four, are there alternative approaches to achieving a healthy and balanced diet? 건강하고 균형 잡힌 식단으로 대체할 접근 방식들이 있는가? By asking yourself these questions, you can reflect on how you gauge the importance of body image and a healthy weight in your life and then gain a deeper understanding of your feelings and circumstances.
Yeah, because I mean, this is something you can control with your weight, but it stems from something much deeper.
Right.
Yeah. So, specifically focusing on Sarah, right, because that was today's story that you share with us. Is there anything that Sarah can try, 원장님?
Yeah, I'd like to suggest some things that Sarah or our listeners in a similar situation can try. Regardless of an idol singer's body, shape, or weight, think about how you perceive your body. You may have some experiences of bad comments related to your physique. If you harbor any negative emotions from these moments, you should let them go. For example, you could talk about it with your trusted friends, write about or draw your emotions. In addition, try to shift your mindset towards body acceptance and self-love and write down some positive things about yourself.
Yeah, reframing how you see your body is really tough. But yeah, very important.
맞습니다. What else can Sarah do?
Right. Especially for teenagers, they are influenced by their peers. So if you are hanging out with the friends who are pro-ana or practicing unhealthy dieting, you might consider reducing time with them because they are probably obsessed with distorted self-body images and making comments on their own bodies or other people's bodies. Also, try to hang out with the friends who have a positive self-body image.
Yeah.
So I have a question though, because there's things that Sarah can consider, and of course, if Sarah is a little bit older and not with this peer pressure so much, and there's things to do, but it's only when you're ready for help that you can help yourself. So if you are, like, for example, you have a teenage daughter or a teenage son who's starting to show signs of an eating disorder, what would a parent do or a concerned friend in that situation?
So I think, the thing is that when I met the client I talked about
The teacher,
earlier, her mom was give her a lot of pressure. You need to eat more, and also, she was always checking her weight, and also her mom says, "Don't check your weight," kind of things. So her mom was kind of like. Observing her all the time, 24 hours. And then that gave her a lot of pressure. And then so that's why she didn't want to talk her mom about it, So
엄마는 도와주려고 했는데 the students took her as mom as maybe like another enabler.
Too much.
Right. So I think it's really important to give her empathy, like I know it's bad things to do, but she has, the desire why she wants to be like that. So
she has her reasons.
right? So she has probably reasons, and also like even though the parents or her friends can try to help her, so then they need to meet professionals.
Yeah, right.
It's hard to handle, and so that's why.
Okay. All right. So that's something when you have friends and family around
Yeah.
a person that might be facing that problem.
So be supportive, be empathetic,
Right.
and just kind of, I don't know, maybe even just, I don't know how you would bring it up. That's very difficult, isn't it? It's a very difficult thing, but
Yeah.
just showing support and showing love to the person and supporting them where they are and for who
맞아요.
they are at the time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Is there anything else that Sarah should consider?
So instead of looking for quick solutions, focus on making long-lasting changes to your lifestyle. Start by adding healthy food to your meals little by little. And find the physical activities that you enjoy doing. It's important to prioritize your overall well-being and instead of just trying to achieve a specific body shape or size. So remember, small and steady steps toward a healthier lifestyle can make a big difference in the long run.
Yeah.
Not too much too soon, just slow and steady.
맞아요.
Yeah.
But I guess in a perfect situation and all these things are going for Sarah, then it might help her. But what if she's still struggling?
Right. I mentioned it earlier that so if you think that you cannot handle the situation by yourself, you might consider consulting with a mental health professional. They can provide valuable support and guidance to address any underlying issues related to body image and self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such an important topic that we covered
Right.
Yeah.
today, especially during summertime. I feel like people dieting and trying to lose weight quick, and especially at a time when your view of yourself and your body image, self-body image, is even more sensitive these days
Yeah.
in the summer season because it's hot. Everybody has to be a bit more bearing, right? When it comes to what they wear. So. Yeah, I feel like it's a very relevant topic these days, especially for the younger generation.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, there's nothing more important than your health.
Right.
And a size of trousers does not define your value. You are just such an important person, regardless of how big or small your dress size is.
맞습니다.
So important to
Yeah,
remember that. So
definitely.
important.
Yeah. Well, 원장님, thank you so much. Like I said, we covered such an important topic today.
Yeah.
We have a couple listeners actually
many messages
chiming
coming in.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. 우리 일요의 충전소님, recently some of my friends criticized my shape and I asked for their apology because I thought that was very rude.
Yeah.
Because I love who I am now.
Good.
And that's good. 충전소님, I think that's a great, healthy way, I think, to go about it. Even telling people
Yeah.
that what you're saying to me is hurtful.
It's
and I don't
not
want to hear
okay.
that.
Yeah.
맞아요. 네. JB님, 외모 지상주의, quite a lot. 네, 만연한 듯 in Korea still. Yeah, just basically we're so focused on people's looks. That's still a priority here in Korea. 충주선님, hope this country will accept diversity of race, sex, age, health, language, culture. Just everybody's different, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you heard that Snoop Dogg song?
Which one?
You know that Snoop Dogg has his kids' mindfulness, mental health. It's called Doggyland.
Oh.
And there's a song called Everybody's Different. And it's basically everybody's different and that's okay.
네.
I'm different. I'm taller. I'm smaller. I got braids. And so it's teaching kids through the beautiful method of rap and hip hop
Yeah.
to love themselves for who they are and to embrace diversity.
맞아요.
Giving really positive messages.
Definitely.
Snoop Dogg.
By Snoop Dogg. 원장님, thank you so much. That'll do it for today's 마음톡톡 Mind Talk with 오정아 원장님.
Thank you,
원장님,
원장님.
Thank you for
감사합니다.
listening. I will
Thank
see you
you.
next Thursday then.
Yay.
Bye.
We've got one
Bye.
more message
Oh.
there. Cosname, this is a very insightful segment. Thank you for sharing your stories.
Oh,
어,
thank you.
너무
Thank
감사합니다. We'll see you next Thursday, okay?
네.
Bye-bye.
Bye.